So this is how to make a pattern for this. Sort of shows the two jackets here, this sort of little over jacket, or this sort of like light little unlined coats. Okay, so you need, I'm using my flat block. Okay, my flat shirt block for this. It's actually an easy fitting block. So I'm going to get the front bit first. Now when you're doing the front bit, make sure you've got plenty of paper on this side because we need to fold. Put your notches in, just draw around there. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is bring that, hang on, I'm not very good. So at this part of the front, this is the front seam, the bottom of the centre fold, at the centre front, just come down a centimetre. I'm going to come down half a centimetre because I'm using a half size block. And if you just sort of put a nice little curve line in, so we've got a new seam here that sort of has more of a curve and comes down lower at the front. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to do this reaver and do this facing. So if you see this line here, the centre front, it's where the buttons are. So we need to have a little bit of a crossover because the buttons need to flap over each other. So we need to put something called a stand, a button stand on, and you just get your grader and you get the 2.5 mark, which is just there. You've got the half symbol just between your 2 and the 3, and if you just line that up on your centre front, I'll put a nice line down. Actually, I'm going to just use half that measurement, otherwise it'll look weird on this. Okay, and then just straighten that out. Okay. So this is your fold line. This is where the fabric, so this is this line here now that we've made. So now we need to make the bit underneath, the bit that's going to be, it's called a facing, and it's the bit you're going to see on the collar. Just follow that one that comes in. Okay. And you're going to snip that all the way around best you can on the collar. Right, and your, that's all. Okay, so now when we open that up, we see we've got like a mirror image. So we're going to put our facing in, and I'm going to use a 7 centimetre facing. Actually, maybe an 8 would be nice, but because I'm using a half size pattern, I'm just going to mark 4 on this. Okay, 4 here, and if we get our, let's get the 4 on that fold line. Okay, there's a fold line, put my 4 there, and hope that's, yeah. And we're just going to mark that up to about that level of that little notch. Okay, so facing. And now I'm going to make a nice curve to blend that in. Okay, so this is just a case of sort of eyeballing it really. Just one nice smooth sort of transition. Okay, I'm happy with that. So that's a facing. I'm going to cut that out, that facing. I'm not going to add a seam allowance to the facing either, because if you want to finish it off, you can just overlock it, or you can bind it. I'm not going to turn it in on itself. That. And that's folded back. See, that becomes the facing of the jacket, and that folds back, and that's that bottom collar bit there. Okay. Now I'm going to add some seam allowances to this. So you need to add a centimetre seam allowance all the way around the sleeve. I'm just putting 0.5 centimetres. Again, just remind you, you put a centimetre. On the sleeve, and I'm just going to join the dots by eye. But, you know, you use your grader if you're not confident. I'll put about 1.5 centimetres on here. No, I haven't added the seam allowance for the bottom of the jacket, so I'm just going to add that with a bit of I could have done this earlier before I folded it back. Actually, it might have made it easier. So I'm going to add a 4 centimetre hem to the bottom of the jacket. Okay. I'll mark that out with my finger. So the whole way along to the facing as well. And don't forget this should be curved. Oh, marvellous. What have I done wrong there? Oh yeah. Okay, and now that is ready to cut out. Don't worry about the shoulder. We could add seam allowance to the neckline as well. Might be good. Where's me? So you can see if you put your tape, your a good idea to mark in if you're finding it hard to see where your original sew line is. Okay. We're just going to leave this bit for now, okay? Just leave that. Top of the facing and the shoulder, just leave that. Okay, so I'll cut all the way around the seam allowance. Your excess paper. On here. Put the excess paper out of the way. Okay, so you should end up with a little bit of a lowered hem, seam allowance around the armhole, the side seam, SS. This is your facing. It should fold back on itself. It should be. Let's fold it back. That's your facing, okay? You should have seam allowance around your neck hole. Centre front marked. So then if you do all your notation on it, which is over jacket, medium, whatever size you're using, front, cut to, and also your name or your logo. I'm putting Anita here. Okay, so that's seems to be all of it. So that's the front done. Okay, let's look at the back now. Okay, so here's one I did earlier of the back. Basically, you just need to there's the shirt block. Okay, and you're just going to draw around it, which I've already done. You need to put your seam allowance at the bottom, which is 4 centimetres here, and a centimetre or a centimetre and a half on the side seam, a centimetre around the armhole, and a centimetre around the neck hole, and mark it all up. We haven't put the grain line in this, but the grain on this runs parallel to the back seam, so it's quite easy to mark that in. Let me just get my grader to keep reading. Okay, I'll just put the grain line in. And that straight grain, when we're cutting our fabric out, we need to make sure that lies parallel to the grain of the fabric or to the selvage of the selvage of the fabric, and just mark that SG for straight grain. So SS for side seam, C cut to fold on the centre back, CB. Okay, and now I'm just going to cut that out and there's one more thing we need to do to this. Just something to do with what we haven't put any we haven't put any seam allowance on the shoulder seam yet, and that's because we're going to take a little bit of the shoulder seam from the back and add it to the front. And we do this with shirts and jackets. Don't really know the reason. I'll find out and tell you. Seam allowance. So this seam allowance looks ridiculous for this long hem. Cut down the back. Okay. So we have our two bits of our jacket. Okay, this is the front and this is the back. Now what we need to do is take 1 centimetre off this back shoulder. Okay, so basically just get your grader and mark down 1 centimetre. On yours it'll be to here, but I'm just going to do this. Okay, so it just looks in proportion. And you're going to take that off the back. And you're going to add it to and add it to that. Right, I'm going to have to cut that bit out. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is add 1 centimetre of this to this seam to the front, and how I do that is just join them together. The easiest way of doing it is put them together like that so they match. Okay. Actually, I might put that on the back. It'd be easier to see. So if I put there like that, and then this one here. Okay. And now all I'm going to do is draw down 1 centimetre. Okay, I'm going to do 1/2 centimetre, of course, because that's our new shoulder seam. Okay. I'm just going to cut that in. So shape that neckline so it's nice and smooth. And that means the shoulder seam is going to be closer to the front, so it's going to be more visible. It's what you do on those shirts and jackets. Okay. And now we need to add some seam allowance to that as well. Okay, and then you're done with the front. So there's my sleeve. Okay, it's got the name of the pattern, which is an over jacket. It's a medium size. It's called a sleeve, cut to, and my name on it. Something I forgot to do is to flare the bottom of the sleeve out a bit, as you see here. Okay, so I'm going to remedy that now. So on the bottom of the hem, pull that up and cut down there. because when you turn your sleeve up, if that's too narrow, the hem won't fit into the actual sleeve, so it's got to be shaped. Okay. And now I'm going to draw my new seam allowance in. Okay. Let's do that. There's the new seam allowance. And when that gets folded back into the sleeve, it's going to fit in without making the sleeve pucker. Okay, so that's your sleeve. There are other things that you can do to it, but I think for now you've had enough to contend with, so I just want you to have... Oh, there was another thing as well. Some of you might want to do this yoke style there. Okay, so basically all you need to do is get your original pattern as the front. And if we position the 0 on one of these vertical lines, and I'm going to just draw in where I want the yoke, which is just above that. I'll cut right through. This is just decorative, really. Sometimes, you know, with a yoke you can always have the option of having this like straight and put some gathers in this one, but I think for this style it's just like that sort of donkey jacket look, isn't it? So if you want that, that's what you do. And obviously you're going to have to go now and add seam allowance to this. I will do. Come back in a minute, show you the finished, and then we're going to do the back and put the yoke in the back as well. I suppose it's basically up to you where you put the yoke, but I think it looks quite good there. Aha. Okay, so we're going to add seam allowances, and also because we've got new pattern pieces now, we're going to have to mark all these pattern pieces up, and I'll do that and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so I've got, you should have either 3 pattern pieces or 5 pattern pieces. So you'll have, if you're making the jacket with the yoke, you'll have 5. If you're just making the jacket without the yoke, like this one, you'll just have 3 pattern pieces. So I've marked them all up. On the yoke you should have seam allowance all the way around apart from the back seam where you put cut to fold. Back of the jacket, seam allowance all around apart from the back where it's cut to fold. Yeah. On your jacket front yoke you have seam allowance all the way around apart from this seam, which is in the inside of the facing, and then the bottom seam allowance all the way around apart from the facing. Okay, now I'm going to label these because I've got 5 pattern pieces. I'm going to label them now they're all done. So this is 1 of 5, 2 of 5, 3 of 5, it doesn't matter which one you do as long as 4 of 5, they're all labelled, and 5 of 5. And that is because if you've you've got 5 pattern pieces to your garment, so if you've got 5 pieces, you know that you're okay, the pattern's good. Okay, and sorry, your sleeve as well, that wasn't in the picture, that's 5 of 5. Okay, and that's it, done, and we're ready to cut out.